Hello, bitchlings. I just woke up from a nap. That's why my hair is a mess. I've been doing housewife things the whole day. I made rice porridge and I made chicken soup and I went to the store, I did some cleaning, dishes. Oh my god, I'm such the wife material, guys. But today I wanted to bring you guys more witchy videos because I know that I'm gonna be 6 days at work and I won't be able to post as much as I would love to for you guys. So today we're going back to necromancy. This is the third video on Ouija, Ouija boards and necromancy type of things, because I feel like I didn't explain myself well enough in my last video regarding Ouija, and since Ouija seems to be still a kind of common trend in YouTube, people do a lot of Ouija sessions without knowing how to do them, why they are following certain rules. It's a steaming pile of poop, so just wanted to give you guys my 2 cents on the most important rules of Ouija and why they are in place, because when you Google Ouija rules, you can get a list, but you don't get a list explaining why are there these kind of rules in place. And I feel like the first step of teaching someone something and them learning it is telling them why the rule is in place, because otherwise they will break it and learn by the heel, or however you say it, learn the hard way. I don't want you guys to learn this the hard way, so please listen to Chinami. First rule of Fight Club, not Fight Club. First rule of Ouija, the rule about never playing alone. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you why they say that. Never play alone is there to protect you first. It is there to protect you from, basically, if you become possessed by a demonic entity or a spirit that wants to possess you, a malevolent spirit, there's no one to help you at that point. Like, there's nobody there with you, and yeah, I think that it's always a bit more safe when you have someone with you. However, I find that if you know how to banish this kind of entities, know the kind of signs that they give before doing something, don't antagonize them, you can play alone. Okay, I play alone many times. Why do I say play? It's a seance, it's not a game, okay? But anyway, I do seances alone, mainly because I know how to protect myself. I always cast a circle to protect me and my house and trap the whatever entity there is with me to the circle, and it is not getting out of it unless it goes through me. And ain't no friggin' ghost going through me, because this is my house. This is my house and my rules, and anybody here always respects my rules and needs to. So I'm the type of witch who does take good care of her protection. So that's why I find it okay to play alone. The other reason why people say you shouldn't play alone is because the planchette is going to move super slow, okay guys? Because the entities are using your energy, usually. They are going to move it a lot slower than if they had the energies of 2 to 5 people. It's just logic, okay guys? Like, and I've noticed this when doing this. When you have at least 3 people in seance, it's gonna be a lot faster. It's a lot less annoying, because it can get kind of tedious waiting for the spirit to spell a letter for 5 minutes. I've done that, and it's nice still, but it's just easier for you and the spirit if there are many people in the seance. You can actually help this a little bit if you do it alone, a seance, by using a crystal or any other, like, for example, offering type of thing, like juice or something that has like energy in it. You can use something like that, or a elemental flame or something, to bring another energy source, and you can tell the spirit to use that. If they start asking you for something like, give me your blood or something, don't do it. Duh. Then just say goodbye and stop it there, cleanse everything. It's fine. The second kind of thing that people always say is don't play at your own house, and this is partially the same reason. You don't want a malevolent entity to come to your house. However, I break this rule too because I have my circle casting. I know how to protect my house. I know how to quarantine a space for my magical things. I always do that. And I always cleanse my spaces and all my tools. So it is super unlikely that nothing would ever get through. That being said, if you don't know how to do that, then yes, do it somewhere else than your own house. Then people tell you don't play at cemeteries. What I found actually is that cemeteries are one of the least haunted places on earth. So this rule too, I guess it could be kind of like the thing that there might be many kind of spirits there if they are attached to their remains, but usually the spirits haunt the places that they died in. So that usually isn't the cemetery. So more likely is that you won't be contacting at least any spirits. There might be graveyard dirt, for example, is something that is used in cursing. There's a lot of negative energy from everybody crying around cemeteries, so the more likely thing you're gonna get through is demonic entity. So there's kind of no reason for you to play at cemeteries. You are most likely not going to get a nice spirit when you play at cemeteries. Third rule, I think, no, fourth rule. Whenever a spirit or entity starts to make an 8, lopsided 8, stop it. Force it to goodbye. Cleanse shit immediately. If they start to count from the last letters to the first letters, or the last numbers to the first letters, stop. Force it to goodbye. Cleanse everything immediately. Because it's usually a demonic entity or it's a kind of malevolent spirit. So you don't want none of that. You want to kind of have a zero tolerance while doing Ouija. You want to protect yourself first, and you also don't want to take any crap from these entities, because this is your house, this is your rules, this is a friendly seance, and you don't need that, okay? So, if the same kind of spirit tries to come through many times, the kind of like malevolent entity, just stop the seance completely and tell them that it's over, please go out, find peace, I'm ending the session. That's a good way to kind of like just tell them that's enough. Never store the planchette on the board if you're not using it. Always take it off, because the entities can use it. When it's there, they can use it. It's kind of you're leaving it open. It's like leaving a portal open, okay? Always say goodbye, because you are closing a portal then. Never leave it open. I also like to always cleanse myself, everybody involved with the seance, and cleanse all my tools after that. If you want to destroy an Ouija board, do not burn it. I repeat, do not burn it. It opens it completely. Burning an Ouija board opens the Ouija board completely. And the best way to basically get rid of it is to break it. Spill holy water, whether that be moon water or something that has been blessed in church or whatever, on it, and bury the damn thing. Like burying is one of the oldest binding spell tactics. It's a very good cleansing binding spell, okay? You can do that. Then, if the let's go into it. Okay, you start the session, you open it with your friend. Do not lift your hands from the planchette, because that's basically you letting the spirit roam in the circle, and you don't want that. It's always easier for them to kind of get away if you do that, so you want to keep your hands on the planchette at all times. You want to have a leader who is talking to the spirit, and you want to have a helper who basically takes notes of what letters there are, because it's very hard to do both. And the leader's job is to hold on the fort. Basically, the leader's job is to also have a positive energy in the room, and the leader is the one who says when you say goodbye to. So that way you have two people there. It's a lot better, I think. Not necessarily, but it's a good way to do it. Okay, it's more trustworthy. Okay. What else kind of rules do I have for you guys? Basically, when you talk to a spirit, you want to ask them questions, because they can lie, okay, guys? You want to ask them questions like what their name is, because if they are a demonic entity, knowing their name means you can trap them. If they don't want to give you a name, or they give you a false sounding name, you stop the session completely. Goodbye. The next thing, you don't want to ask about when you're going to die. You don't need that information, and it will never bring you anything good. Plus, they can lie. Okay. You don't want to ask the spirit where it is, because if it says it's gonna be behind you, you're gonna freak out, and you will bring negative energy by being scared. So don't ask questions you don't want answers to, actually. Never mock the spirits. Be courteous, as a good human being does. Almost in all videos that I see of people doing seances, this is the one they break almost every time, and I want to really strangle these people, because who would ever be nice to you if you are being an asshole to them? And I feel bad for the spirits because of this. Anyway, always be courteous, always be kind, always be respectful, and you will be okay. Keep your energies light and happy. You never want to ask joking questions, but you also don't have to be super, like, just think about it this way. If you are conversing with a 7-year-old spirit, it's different from conversing with a 57-year-old spirit. Keep it in mind. You want to have all mirrors and all reflective surfaces like windows covered. One reason for that only, well, maybe two. Mirrors amplify everything. They amplify different energies, and they get attached spirits easily to them. So you want to cover them for that reason, but the more likely reason, or the more important reason actually, is that when you see something reflected yourself, usually you see yourself moving, and you see a reflection in the like window or something, you get freaked out, and that you don't need that kind of energy. You don't need to scare yourself to death. So please just put something on. My neighbors, oh my god. Put something on like the reflective surfaces. You might want to also have familiars around, because familiars, like cats, they sense danger, and they sense different energies. They sense entities. So if there's a malevolent spirit, you can also see it from how your dog or cat or any other animal basically reacts, because they are a lot more sensitive than we are. So that you might want to have a dimly lit room also, because it's more comfy. I've noticed many spirits feel more comfortable in that kind of almost like dark space where there's little light. It's more calming. The energy is usually kind of more mellow. It's nice. It's romantic. So you want to make the seance room like that, okay? Then what else? What else do I want to say about that? I think those were the most important rules of using Ouija boards. And yeah, after that, do remember after the session to cleanse your space with sage, pine, or brushing with a broom, and also sage all your belongings that you used in the seance. And I usually like to cleanse my whole house, every corner of my house, and every window, and every door of my house, basically after that. With these rules that I told you, I think you're gonna be pretty safe, and please use common sense. Common sense is something that keeps you safe pretty much everywhere. And also, when I tell you intuition is important, listen to it. I'm telling you it's important. If you feel some entity has malevolent energy, stop. You can feel it. Trust your intuition. Your intuition has saved you and your ancestors thousands years ago. Please do listen to it, okay, guys? And with this being said, happy seances. Bye.